of the rim. Got it! Oh, the slam! Oh, using Curry way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry!
I want to read you guys something real quick. This is not going to be a long video. By the way, I do apologize for not having a Suns hat for the vid, but apparently they don't sell those in Central Florida. Anyways, on the topic of the Phoenix Suns, this goes back to 2005 regarding Joe Johnson. Asked why he wants to leave the Suns after a breakthrough season, for himself and the team, Johnson said, quote, "It's a lot of things. How things were handled with Johnson's contract last summer, how things have been handled this summer. There's been some things going on that aren't great." Johnson hoped to sign a 6-year, $50 million extension with Phoenix before last season, but the talks stalled with the sides about $5 million apart. Just $5 million, that's it. At the time, Sarver was hesitant to make another splashy expenditure after committing to front the $400 million purchase of the franchise and then signing Nash and Quentin Richardson to long-term deals worth a combined $110 million. Well, at least it was Steve Nash last time. This time it's Mikal Bridges and Landry Shamet. By the way, Bridges is a great extension, great signing, definitely. Shamet, we'll see. But I just wanted to read you that because in case you're not paying attention to what's happening in Phoenix right now, a lot of young players got paid around the league. Trae Young, Luka Doncic, just rookie extensions everywhere. Deandre Ayton, who was just in the NBA Finals, did not get a rookie extension. The talk stalled, as they did with Joe Johnson, who was also a member of the Phoenix Suns, for a team that probably, if he would have been there, would have eventually won a championship. So what happens here is you start talking about a player's worth. Is Deandre Ayton really worth the money that he's asking for? Because he wants a max extension. I think on the latest article I just saw, which came out probably like 10 minutes before making this video, was, yeah, here we go. Deandre Ayton wanted a 5-year max. The Suns raised the concept of a 4-year max or even a 3-year max, but those talks did not progress and the sides ended discussions without a deal. Okay, look. Shout out to my guy Nikias. I'll probably link his article in the description. He does podcasts, he does articles, and in the article, I think he was writing about the Suns long before this situation came up, and he said something really common sense. He was like, just pay your young guys. Just pay them. Pay Bridges, pay Ayton. Don't make it difficult. As a matter of fact, because I love the wording so much, he said, why am I even wasting article space on something that should be this simple? You just went to the darn finals. Pay your young talent or somebody else will, and you'll be worse off for it, and your fans will be worse off for it, and my Twitter experience with your fans will be worse off for it, because I'll have to talk about how much of a screw up it was. Okay, so are the Phoenix Suns going to lose Deandre Ayton anytime soon? Not likely. Ben Simmons did not succeed with stalling his team. He is apparently going to play this week, so the prospect of Ayton just saying, okay, I'm never going to play another game for your franchise, he wasn't going to do that anyways, but now we know that method probably wouldn't work. He's a restricted free agent, so they can let this go into next summer. They can let a team try to offer him, then they can just match that contract offer, and they can keep him for, I believe, cheaper than they would have had to give him in the deal that he wanted today or yesterday. Now, in Joe Johnson's situation, Johnson straight up told him, hey, I don't like how that was handled. I don't like what you guys did to me, which is kind of what they're doing to Deandre Ayton. And he said, I want to continue my career as an Atlanta Hawk. So Ayton, especially in this day of player empowerment, Ayton could just be like, hey, I don't like how this was handled. This team offered me a contract. I want to go play for them. Please don't bring me back. And hell, with the way things work with stars today, that might even work, because especially when you're trying to keep a guy like Devin Booker happy, you probably don't want toxicity around the locker room. You don't want that situation to devolve, but I'm getting way ahead of myself. That's not really the point here. Basically, the point is this is just not how you treat your young players. And I'm not saying it in a way like they aren't making millions of dollars and very fortunate to be in this situation. I'm saying when you're a team like the Phoenix Suns, who has, let's just call them cornerstones, right? You've got Chris Paul, who's the elder statesman. He'll be gone soon. You got Devin Booker, who is the best player on your team, probably. He's going to be the star of the future. You got Deandre Ayton, who is the other cornerstone. That's Devin Booker's big man. Chris Paul is the guy that came to Phoenix, but you don't quite often see Phoenix as a free agent destination. That is not where stars are just flocking to. Prime superstars, when it's time for free agency, do not just say, I'm going to Phoenix. It doesn't happen all the time. Sure, they've gotten some guys in the past, it's happened, but it's not a constant thing. Before they made the finals last year, or this year, they hadn't even been to the playoffs in like 10 years, right? So a contract extension and giving guys max money is rarely about whether they are actually worth that money at the time. It's about your situation. And in the Suns situation, they cannot afford to lose DeAndre Ayton. You cannot afford to have Chris Paul get older and he'll be gone soon, and then also have DeAndre Ayton leave because of something very simple, or have him be unhappy because of something very simple, and all of a sudden you're just stuck with Devin Booker, who will be like, oh, hey, yeah, this whole thing just got fucked up. I went out. He's been loyal to Phoenix. He's done everything he said he was going to do, but situations evolve really, really quickly with star players. And I guess my point is, Not that the Suns are, imminent for destruction or that the roster is about to blow up or anything like that. It's just, if you end up losing star players, don't let it be because you defeated yourself or because you made very simple mistakes. You're going to pay Ayton anyways, whether somebody does give him a really fat contract next year and you match it, or whether you end up extending him and just giving him the money on your own. You're going to pay Ayton. You're going to have him for the next few years. The only thing this type of thing does, what they did yesterday by not extending him while the rest of his classmates got extended, even though he was the one that went to the finals, the only thing this does is put it in the back of his mind that, hey, this management really didn't fuck with me like that when it was time to pay up. They really didn't do right by me. So when he does have an opportunity in the future to be an unrestricted free agent, that is something he will likely remember. If the Suns aren't in the best situation, say, I don't want to put it out into the universe, but say the Suns have gone through injuries and they haven't been able to reach the pinnacle because of those injuries, whatever the reason is, right? They haven't quite reached where they were supposed to be, and somebody like Ayton starts looking elsewhere. This is the type of thing that a player like him will remember. But maybe he loves Phoenix and this is the only thing that would make him look elsewhere, and it's something that the management could have just snapped their fingers and had done, but it's not for no reason. When the Jazz paid Rudy Gobert last year, a lot of us were like, damn, that's a lot of money for that guy. But we understood, again, who's going to the Jazz? What star player is going to the Jazz? Nobody's going to Utah. So as Utah, you cannot afford to lose a Rudy Gobert while you have Donovan Mitchell, who one day might ask for a trade. You can't lose him. So it's a very easy thing for the Suns. You, in this situation with Devin Booker and this whole saga, you can't lose a Deandre Ayton. You can't readily just replace that. And so you can make whatever arguments you want about his contract worth or about his numbers or whatever the argument is that you want to make for Ayton and why he doesn't necessarily deserve the money that he asked for. That is so far besides the point. The point is, in Phoenix Suns situation, you have a player that needs to be made whole so that you can keep this unit together for the foreseeable future. And it's a very, very simple step. I feel like we saw this same thing with Gordon Hayward. We saw it with Joe Johnson. The Phoenix Suns, Joe Johnson might have been the difference between that Suns team winning a championship and not winning one. And because he didn't like how contract negotiations went, he wanted to leave. So it is a Sarver as well. They've already been through this. I guess what I'm saying is, so I don't start repeating myself, because this video is probably going to come to an end really quickly, you just don't make simple things harder for yourselves, especially as an organization that is not Los Angeles or New York, who's just going to have players fall to them. You're the Phoenix Suns. You're not really a small market, but you're also not just going to have players fall to you. I always believe the people that are running teams and running management of teams are far smarter than I am. They have to be. They're running these organizations. But I see so many of these squads make very, very simple gaffes along the way, and then it comes back to get them years later and something crumbles because of that one tiny thing that they had to take care of. If one day Ayton does end up not being a Phoenix Sun, I guarantee you we will look back at the rookie extension day that they did not extend him. We'll look at that as the catalyst, and it might not be for years. It's 2021. He might not leave the Suns until 25 or 26 if he did leave at all. But this will be looked at as the catalyst, and it doesn't have to. It's a very simple thing. Dear NBA teams, if you have a young player and he has potential and he is the dual piece to another better player, you cannot lose that piece. You are setting yourself up for failure. You don't dare do anything that might push that process along of losing him. You might not lose him today, you might not lose him in the next 3 years, but this one little thing can push that process forward, just like it did with Joe Johnson. This already happened. Treat your young stars right or somebody else will. I would have liked to end the video on that note, but at this point, I'm just being lazy if I don't plug. I am going to be doing a watch party for the games tonight. Well, one of the games, Bucks and Nets. Be doing it on Twitch. Link is in the comment section and description. I was doing watch parties in the finals. I think I had a lot more fun with it than when I used to do them prior. I'm going to be doing them a lot this season, so let's go ahead and celebrate the start of the 75th NBA season together on Twitch at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Don't think I'm doing both. I tried to do both games last year. My brain was about to explode, but I'm going to do one. So link to the Twitch in the comment section and description. Come talk basketball. Come watch the evolution, the hopeful evolution, to be honest. Okay, now I'm going to end the video on that note. Treat your young stars right or somebody else will.